Hello and welcome to the 64th episode of the Gochuucast. And today, we don't know, but we're going to find out.
We got a rant, apparently.
Oh yes, it's just
There is
we'll
a
just we'll just start with the rant. So
Wait, actually, I've one small thing,
yeah,
and not related to me, but last week we had the vending machine isekai where Daniel mentioned the.
Yes. I did
Did you
watch
watch
that.
that? And
I did watch it.
yeah, did you like what happened?
Um,
What you saw?
even with him talking about it in the episode, I still don't think I was mentally prepared for what happened. I don't want to say it caught me off guard because I knew something was going to happen.
it's so
because
stupid.
we had talked about it. But still, even knowing that it was coming, I was just sitting there like, what?
Yeah, it's something else.
There you go.
Anyway, so I mean, technically, it does solve the issue, though. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
No,
about
that's
that.
just something I mentioned because I didn't get a satisfying conclusion since you hadn't watched it at that point. So
My reaction was still probably very funny, even though I knew something was gonna happen, and I was kind of waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't believe my eyes when I when I saw him or her whip out that shit. I'm like, oh my god.
We actually had to instant replay it. I was watching with Resh, and it was one of those things where we were kind of just like half paying attention, and we had to instant replay because we were just like, wait, what the fuck?
I know, because I don't know if I could have like realized it like just looking at the box he turned into, but like I wasn't like
It was
fully
when
paying
she
attention.
took
Like
it out.
yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
they're gonna take something out of him eventually. I don't know what I'm not gonna pay. I don't need to pay attention to like heavy what kind of box this is. But then they whipped it out. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway,
It also brings a lot of questions into like what type of things he can turn into, but
episode 4, I think it's based in reality, so I think the author's limited himself to whatever vending machines exist or have existed, no matter how niche.
Well, I mean, isn't the meme like I don't? It's not a meme. Actually, it's reality. I guess isn't the thing that like Japan has like vending machines for like literally
for
everything.
Yeah.
After
So I don't think there's much of a limitation.
That is absolutely. I guess I like the fact that you say it's limited to vending machines that theoretically exist. So he couldn't
like
become like a sword vending machine or something.
I mean, you never know, man.
They might
maybe
I don't know what
have
happens in
sword
Japan.
vending machines. You never know.
That fair. I would not know. I hope he turns into one of those vending machines that does cans of pizza.
Cans
of pizza.
Is that a thing?
It's like a thing. I swear that's a thing.
Kudos. There is something turned into episode 4, which definitely made me question like how far do Japan's vending machines go, and what counts as a vending machine. But you'll get to that. You've only seen 3, I assume.
We're already questioning what counts as a vending machine right now.
Yeah, I questioned it even more after 4. It was definitely less out. It was less out there than episode 3's vending machine, but it was definitely more niche.
But it felt less like yeah.
I'm like, this is a very specific case use vending machine that probably doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, episode 3's vending machine. I understand why it would exist. I just didn't expect it to show up. To be honest, in a show I was watching.
Yeah, no, I wasn't prepared. But
yeah, so that's your satisfying conclusion.
Yeah, it was really satisfying. Thank you.
Honestly, it would have been funnier if you had been in the call with me.
I have to watch it. I have to watch the show,
waiting.
honestly, now that I think about it. Now that I've finished Haikyuu,
honestly, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm having fun watching it. So
it's definitely not good, but
it's actually, I would go as far as to say it's bad, but
it's like a fun
bad in a way that I like don't feel miserable watching it every week, and I actually am like,
you don't feel miserable watching anime. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Definitely should drop things that you feel miserable watching.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that. Yep. That's me.
Yep. Absolutely.
Torturing yourself.
Anyway, so since
You
you
had your
already
rant.
just mentioned it,
Yeah.
Bat did finish IQ also.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, yeah.
Any non-spoilery thoughts?
Yeah, I guess like without being super spoilery about it, I thought it was good. I think the thing that, well, I guess I watched Pokemon as a kid, so I'm kind of used to it. But like with shows that don't have, like, if you think about like fantasy shows with like isekais or,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even other dramas, right? Like those shows, they always have like episodes where there's like, I don't want to say downtime, but there's like world building and story building and background on the
Yeah.
characters. And oftentimes it can be, even if it's necessary, it can be like a little dull. I thought Haikyuu was really good because they were able to mix. I mean, the
Yeah.
plot is
They would
less
usually
complex. Yeah,
they would usually try and, like, if they wanted to introduce something, they would also try and have it be tied into like a character
yeah, during the
or
game.
a team
Um,
or
yeah,
something.
and
Um,
yeah, so that was good because it was like pretty much action all the way through, like at least they were doing something. Like even if they're practicing or whatever, they were doing something, right? Which I like. Um and then trying to think what else. I think the yeah, the characters, I think they were pretty good. And then I think without spoiling it too much, the last match that they play, which is not really a
the
spoiler, but
last match of the season is
yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah, of the season of the tournament.
However,
That I was
it is
so
also fucking 7 episodes or 6 episodes or something.
the entire tournament was like 7 episodes, right? Like I'm talking about like
The So it was 2 episodes up to the last match. But no. Go look at how many episodes the last match is. It's literally,
maybe it was actually longer.
I think
I
it's
was just,
literally 5 or 6.
yeah, okay. Anyway, it was awesome. I mean, it didn't feel like 5 or 6 episodes. That's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess they had like probably like 2 episodes for each set or whatever, right?
So
But
I guess
yeah,
a
I
fun
was so
question.
invested in that. Yeah.
Because this is more or less your first sports anime. Did you find the plot line of season 1 to be predictable?
I've seen enough. Like I said, I watched Pokemon, so I know how these
That's
like
fair.
multi-season things go. Where I kind of knew it was going to happen near the end, but I mean, it wasn't like you can still enjoy it even if it's predictable. I guess. Like I don't know. I wasn't really
No,
thinking
I
too.
agree. I am the
Yeah, I wasn't
one of
thinking
the
too
biggest
much about
sports
how it was going to
anime.
end.
Yeah,
I knew how it was going to end, but it wasn't like I was expecting it. I guess. Like yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really like at the forefront of my mind, so I was able to enjoy it and
I think
even
I've
if you know the
talked about.
end,
Yeah,
yeah, you can
I think I've
enjoy the
talked about
journey.
this in short. As one of the biggest sports anime fans I know, um, there's essentially like 3 different scripts for
Scripts.
every
Oh boy.
sports
Okay.
anime. Like I say that lovingly, but also there's only so many things you can do when each game has a result of just you
Yeah.
win
Win
or you
lose. Yeah.
lose. Um, there's only so many ways you can mix those results,
Yeah. For sure.
especially because the Japanese board system is broken.
It's broken. Okay.
Um, so Daniel watched Awashi, so he wouldn't really know this because Awashi is a little different. Awashi actually does a proper soccer season,
Mhm.
but all the high school clubs in Japan sports, so the Kuroko's, the Haikyuus, all of that type of stuff, every tournament is single elimination
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
from the start. You
Right.
train for 3 months, 4 months, you go into a single elimination tournament, and if you lose in the first round, GG.
Right.
And that's just
Yeah. It does
how
suck.
it
Yeah. There's no
goes.
like season.
And to
Regular season or
me,
anything.
that from like a narrative standpoint restrains what a lot of these shows can do.
Yeah.
Those tournaments only happen 2 to 3 times a year, depending on what sport. And there's some varies. Like I said, Awashi is in a high school setting,
Mhm.
so they can have an actual soccer season. Some stuff like Yawamushi Pedal will just have like random like opens and stuff like that. So they can have just a random bike tournament to just like fuck around.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, yeah. I mean, just overall, like, yeah. Although I guess like there's, yeah. I guess with single elimination, it's like I also wondered. I can't spoil it, but like, yeah, I think with single elimination, it kind of sucks because
You DM me it. I can't
yeah,
necessarily answer here, but just out of curiosity,
no, yeah,
I can't really have my like big sports conversations here.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
until at least Daniel has
I'll
gotten
DM it
conned
anyway.
into watching a few.
Point is, I thought they did a good job of stretching out the tournament to the point where it wasn't boring that they stretched it out too long because they were like key moments at every stage and they were like adapting their strategy and stuff like that. Um, and
Haiky's really good at making the games last a long time without being boring.
yeah, I
That
agree. Yeah,
that game that I just told you was 6 episodes is probably like maybe the fifth longest game. I was gonna say it
holy,
might. I was gonna say it might not be top 5, but it might be 5. Um, and since the new Haikyuu source materials for not source material, but the new adaptations going forward are movies. A movie is shorter than 6 episodes,
right?
so
That makes sense.
probably, so it'll probably stay there, even if those movies are just a single game.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess my next thing is I have to watch Attack on Titan, but
Yes, now you have to finish Attack on Titan. Was it?
Uh,
I don't know if it was on the air or off the air where we had the conversation about you're alternating Haikyuu and Attack on Titan.
yeah, I'm just. I mean, I'll catch up with Attack on Titan for when does the next the final
The
season is
final
like
thing is
fall.
fall. Yeah, fall.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it's
I think
fine.
now is the perfect time
I
to.
don't
Yeah.
know when in fall, but it's fall.
Yeah. And then yeah, other than that, then after that, we'll see. I'll probably go back to Haikyuu and see what happens. So, yeah, it's been good.
My sports dosage for the next 6 months.
There you go.
Yes, now I have to give my rant dosage for the single
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Rant
Okay,
dosage
we've
for
been
shonen.
teasing it long enough. Let's hear it.
Alright, it's no secret that I hate shonen fans. But this is like, I don't know, it's just seeing this kind of shit pisses me off so much. So, Jujutsu Kaisen obviously has a very good adaptation.
I knew it was gonna be.
This is why people need to watch more than shonen anime, because it's inconceivable how ungrateful people are for having the adaptations that they do. Jujutsu Kaisen's adaptation is fucking incredible. The animation quality, the art direction, all this shit is great about it, right? And these people have the audacity to complain that the shots aren't like one for one with the manga. Who cares that you like the manga version a little bit better? You don't need to bitch about it on Twitter. Oh my god. It's motherfuckers like this that need to be watching The Dreaming Boy as a realist, because holy shit, do they need a dose of reality in their life. 99% of anime is ass. That's like, well, not ass, but like very basic. You're not going to get that great of quality out of most anime that you're watching. You'll get stuff like Dreaming Boy is a realist, The Vending Machine Isekai, all this other shit. And so when you have adaptations like Jujutsu Kaisen, guess what? It's very difficult to adapt a single panel to look as good or like a single adaptation of a panel is not going to ever look as good as the manga, because guess what, the manga is designed to have really good looking single panels and not.
Also, I will say, in this particular conversation about Jujutsu Kaisen, JJK manga does a really good job at having really good panels and then eliminating like half of the stuff in between a lot of those good panels. I don't necessarily mind it. It is a very jumpy read sometimes if you're not like totally locked in.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, it's just, like after that whatever my are, I'm gonna have to like see all these Jujutsu Kaisen fan pages pop off for the next week, and some do, but then there's so many that are like, oh my god, this is so much cooler in the manga or whatever because of this one single panel. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know the tragedy of most anime adaptations? Have you watched anything outside of JJK and Chainsaw
Angel
Man?
Next Door. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you what went on there. Or like the vast majority of other things I've rated like 6 or below, basically. Like, I don't know, it's just insane that people have the gall to complain when other shit's out there. There's a lot of a lot of series they get dogged by X-Arm, dude. What if X-Arm had a good adaptation? You never know. That shit could have been anime of the year. Who knows? But no, it got the shaft on the production and ended up as a joke, which was probably very bad for the series overall. It probably would have been better if it didn't get anime ever, because now X-Arm, instead of thinking about maybe some like cool manga, it's you're thinking about this dog shit 3D CG adaptation.
This is 2.9 on my anime. Yeah, my anime list.
Isn't X-Arm the thing that you post every so often? That
The flipping one?
Or
Yeah,
spasm
the one,
right
yeah,
side?
the one that he really hates.
Dude, that's
Yeah, I
That's
was
my guy,
gonna
dude.
say. I agree with this take
cracks me up every time.
also because I do think that that guy. I do think that shonen fans are the worst offender, but people in general do sometimes need to separate the fact that like the manga and the anime are different products and are made in different ways. I need to separate that too sometimes.
I think there's fair ways to do it, but then there's stuff like, oh, this wasn't a one-to-one like recreation of the manga
That's
panel,
unfair.
and it's like, okay, but like people had this complaint with My Hero a lot, and like I don't care that much for My Hero, but there are times when it's like it'll have like some insane panel. The panel's crazy, but the anime has to keep moving. It can't be like, all right, freeze frame, and like the
Yes.
like how like in movies, like Marvel movies and shit, they'll have the pause and they'll play the Marvel theme so everyone can clap for the thing that's happening on screen. Then they'll go back to the action. They can't do that. They can't do that in anime. And so, I mean, they can do that. It'd be a stupid idea though. And so,
I agree. You don't get to just like sit and watch the picture the same way that you do a manga panel.
if you wanted
Especially
to
a
see
big spread.
the manga again, but you don't have to flip through reading it, just put that shit in like Windows Movie Maker or something. I don't even think that exists anymore, but I don't know. I mean,
Surely you could still find a version.
probably not one that won't also give you a virus, but someone will probably, maybe, I don't know. Or they probably have some like bootleg version on the Microsoft Store or something that sucks ass. Anyway,
I think if you can find the Nintendo Switch, you can probably find.
What I don't know what you're talking about. I would never have a Nintendo Switch on my computer. That'd be crazy.
Well, I wasn't talking about you. I was just saying.
Oh no, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Some people. I'm definitely not some people. Anyway.
True.
Anyway. Yeah, people. I hate people. That's the.
I think it's fair in the like the My Hero thing that really got me with the anime was what was it, season 4?
See, like a
The
million
one-
slideshow.
No. Sorry, it would have been season 5 then. Yeah, where they the Lemillion slideshow was a moment, but in season 5 they entirely swapped two
Like
arcs
rearrange stuff.
in a way that I understood why they did it, but I didn't agree. Because you've watched season 5, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. Okay,
I read the manga.
fair enough.
I watched
Yeah.
season 6. Still haven't watched season 5.
I might watch season 6.
I gotta watch season 5 one day, but that's
I
don't know.
probably also do.
I'm not super.
Either way,
you know.
I understood the reason why they did it is because it would have been too hard to really get the monkey anime onlys to invest in that the first arc, what should have been the first arc coming into that, and the characters in that arc, and so instead they led into it with the other arc. And like chronologically, I get it because they're both happening roughly the same time. I mean, technically, the arc you see first happens after, I guess, because it has either way.
Not important.
But that's like an example to me of something where it makes sense to like criticize the shuffling of like details from the manga is when it's like a major change and it's not just
Yeah, like rearranging events, cutting content, stuff like that. That is valid to complain about. What's not valid to complain about is a really good adaptation that just isn't the exact same as the manga. That's like,
Yeah, that's unfair. That's all it is.
you're setting expectations that physically don't exist because you're too stupid to understand. That's not how it works. Like,
it's also funny because the counterpoint to why what you're saying is good is the Lemillion slideshow. Because the Lemillion slideshow was quite literally just
Yeah,
manga
you
panels.
want that shit for the Gojo fight? You want Gojo slideshow? No, you don't. You want Gojo moving, and they did that. Which wasn't what you wanted. I just don't. I don't understand. Like, there are iconic panels people want recreated, and sometimes it's just not possible to do that because manga is a it's a picture book. It is meant to have cool looking pictures. Anime is meant to be moving pictures, and so it's just, I don't know. You're fighting a battle that doesn't need to be fought because you already have great, like, top tier animation and art, and you want to bitch about it because it's not the exact same as, like, the manga. I don't know. It's really ungrateful to, like, the adaptation that has been given. You could have an Orient adaptation. Do you want that? No, no one wants an Orient adaptation. Orient wasn't good to begin with, but it's like the adaptation definitely didn't help it.
I don't know. It could be just like.
Was it? Yeah. Was it not good to begin with? I don't know. I've heard it's decently popular, but I don't know if that's just because of the fact that it's from the manga author.
I hope it's not popular. It genuinely, I look at it and I'm not moved by anything. It's more than just like the art direction, animation, and stuff. Where that's part of it. Like in Jujutsu Kaisen, what if you had like the action where it's I hate this the most in anime. I'd rather them just not animate it at all. When they do like the still picture, but they're like they put the moving lines on it, or like the simulated action lines, whatever the fuck they're called, I forget. That was like most of Orient's action. I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much because at that point you really may as well just go read the manga. But I didn't think the content in it was good at all either.
That's fair. That's just what I was curious about. I don't know. I liked manga a lot, so in my heart, I want Orient to be good.
Yeah, well, people like Death Note a lot
But
too, and look how Platinum End turned out.
Yeah, well, Death Note was also bad. Newsflash. Anyway.
That's crazy. It's messed up.
One day I'll watch Death Note.
This is my hill that I'll always die on and will continuously get flamed for. It's like that one picture.
I love Death Note.
From
they hated
that one fucking. No, it's the guy from the Rapunzel movie where he has all the swords.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. It's like the Twitter
it's
thing.
That meme. That's me saying Death Note is bad, and everyone in the world saying
because it's a meme take, bro.
But it's what I think. Like
I know
everyone says it's a meme take, but I that's not one of my takes I do for clicks. I just genuinely did not think
clicks?
it was
good. What's a take you do for clicks then? Who's clicking?
I mean, smartphone being the greatest anime of our generation is definitely some meme clicks takes. Although I did like it.
Okay, sure. I don't know. Okay, I will say that like I don't know. I guess it depends on like who these people are that are like complaining about the adaptation. Maybe they're just like used to really good adaptations, and maybe
that's what I'm saying. It's the shonen monkeys that all get mad at this stuff, and it's like go watch a slice of life anime for 5 minutes and you'll understand.
I was gonna say like you're like, oh, they haven't seen X bad anime adaptation, but it's like, I mean, they probably haven't. Like, genuinely,
it's not even just about seeing a bad adaptation. Go watch a mediocre adaptation, a good enough anime.
Maybe they just haven't. Yeah, they're just noob fans.
Fucking read a light novel and watch the adaptation with an entire chapter.
You think they can read?
Dumb. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Amen. Honestly, but like, Majirevo had a great adaptation, right? But there was still like full chapters of content in Majirevo that just weren't shown and were not like addressed at all in the anime. And like the chapter I'm thinking of in particular was like one of my favorite chapters because it explained everything about how the universe works. But it was too boring, so tossed it out. Back to action, and it was still a good adaptation. But it's like that's like, to me, a very big difference of like something I could get upset about that just my manga panel was flipped.
Yeah, it's just so goofy.
I've actually only really seen good things about the newest JJK episode. Funny enough,
I've seen a mix, but it's honestly been overwhelmed. I don't know if it's just because all the people who are saying it's good are like finding the like in quote tweeting the ones that say are bad, but I've seen a lot of both. And the fact that I'm seeing any of one of the sides is ridiculous, especially for the reasons that they give. It's just dumb. People have like inconceivable expectations.
Fair enough.
I agree.
Did anything? Was there any more Twitter nonsense coming from the Mushoku Tensei thing, or was that just a one-off thing?
I think it's
Are
pretty
people
much
still mad about
quieted
the
now.
we're
recent
back to normal now.
Yeah.
return to normal? Okay, got it.
Yeah, return to normal. Apparently the trailer for next episode looks good, but I haven't watched it, so and I won't.
My favorite Twitter anime thing that I've been having lately is because I see all the One Piece Twitters is One Piece and Naruto fans have been beefing.
They're
as
always
they
beefing.
always do. They've just been beefing a lot. It's funny because normally I don't see it, but now I see all of the Naruto One Piece beef, and now the One Piece Twitter has a truce with the Dragon Ball Z Twitter.
There's like
It's
factions. It's
yeah,
like a
it's all this faction shit going on, and I'm like, you guys are so fucking cringe, but I'm still sitting here with my imaginary popcorn, just like
You're
watching.
just spectating. Yeah.
It's like I don't even like know how I've not watched One Piece or Naruto. Why do the tweets keep popping up? Like it's trying to force feed me this drama, and I don't care about it. just show me. I don't know, dude. It's so dumb. Anime Twitter sucks, except for the parts of anime Twitter that I like. Which is
what are the parts that you like?
I like the art. I've been doing the like threads talking about episodes.
Yeah, there was a fun one there with your Spellblade thread.
Oh yeah, I made a thread on episode 3 of Reign of 7 Spellblades, and the director of the anime liked my tweet. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yo, you're famous now. What the heck?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that 19 like tweet popped off. Yeah, I don't know. It was cool to have like I see like a Japanese name like the tweet. I'm like, that's interesting. Can they even read it? Let me click on this.
Like that's odd.
I'm like their name is really long and it has JC Staff in it. I click on it and it's the fucking director of the anime. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Today's episode for Spellblades is a gas, by the way.
Wait,
I have not watched it. I should be watching it after this. After the podcast, hopefully.
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
I really haven't watched anything in the last week, I don't think. I've been distracted. I've been reading more Fate. Catching up on that. And 8th anniversary of JP is tomorrow from when we're recording this. So
what's JT?
JP?
JP.
JP? Which means new stuff will be released. But I'm still waiting.
Oh, am I missing something?
The Japanese game.
JP, not JT. You gotta get this you gotta get this JT out of your head.
Okay, yeah. I don't know who JT is. Got it, yeah, JP.
Japanese, not Japanese.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that they're gonna do a new Carnival anime. Well, it's not an anime really. It'll be like a bunch of random just shitpost animations. But it's been a few years since the last Carnival. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about,
I know what you're talking about. I just don't think I can. Don't think I can invest.
No, you absolutely don't care. Carnival is like fucking 20-minute animated shitpost episodes made entirely just for the fan base of the fucking Fate games or Type Moon series.
Oh, this I feel like I've seen clips of this on YouTube.
There's some funny like general clips, but if you watch it, they just make so many references to the game.
Okay, so
and
it's
shit that like the players do.
Yeah.
Like it's specifically designed for like the players to just fucking
okay, got it.
Go crazy.
Yeah, that's where your pity money goes.
I mean, ideally, I would like anime adaptations of more of the story.
I mean, you're getting one, kind
Temple
of.
Time. Well, Strange Fate is in FGO.
Okay, still Fate.
Also, Strange Fate is hype. And I can read all the FGO stories. I can't really read too much of Strange Fate. I can read some. There is a manga for it. I don't know how much is translated. Probably not very much.
Yeah, probably not a lot.
Wait, was there? Do either of you play Blue Archive, the gacha game?
I played it on
I think we
launch.
mentioned this before, but like,
I played it on
I was
launch
just, like,
day,
looking up-
but there's just too much shit going on. I didn't care to continue.
I have too many funny jokes about Blue Archive.
There are a lot. There are a lot of jokes that are not YouTube appropriate that we can make about Blue Archive.
I was
Definitely-
gonna say, I was
Definitely
like,
not YouTube appropriate.
no, they just announced
the
their main
context-
staff. That's what I was.
Context here is I'm a partial owner in a pretty decent sized gacha game server,
Oh, okay.
and
you're a big shot.
I'm in a couple other like pretty big communities that
It's
play
a pretty big
all these
community.
types of games.
Okay.
So, I know about Blue Archive, and pretty much every gacha game that comes out, there's always a bunch of funny memes. But I think the Blue Archive ones might be the funniest to me, and also the ones that I can't repeat.
Yeah, I mean, I only know a couple of them from the from that Jborg's server, the gacha server. They always make fun of people who play that game. That's about it. Okay, that's yeah.
It's a very like
There's this-
big, strong community, but then everyone outside of it just like
Yep,
points and
that's what I
laughs.
Fair enough. Oh, anyway, they're getting an anime, and the staff just got announced. That's why I was mentioning it. But yeah,
The
I mean, I'm
funny
not
thing
gonna watch
is,
that.
the game's actually not bad. Like none of the memes are really about the game. It's just about the community and just other things from the game.
If
I
Precon
believe you.
Ian wasn't still alive at the time, maybe I could have gotten into it because it was like kind of similar in some regards. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it. Not at the time. Not now.
It's certainly not now at all.
Too busy with the other gacha games. I'm trying to think. Another thing that I think I mentioned before. What was I going to say before before we started recording was last episode we mentioned like light novels increasing in popularity. So I was looking up some stuff with that.
I think Resh
go ahead.
actually looked up stats.
Oh,
we
you
talked
did?
about that,
Okay.
and he was like, "Yeah, there's like a really big bump after about 2014."
2014. Okay, I mean it's just like a general time. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was thinking like also. I mean,
Would've been,
COVID
like,
obviously
shortly
helped.
after SAO, kind of.
Yeah,
Not like shortly,
Yeah.
but
I guess it would depend also on like which series got big that were originally based off light novels, which makes sense. People just going back to the source material. I was thinking also like with COVID, I mean, anime and manga consumption increased a lot during that time, but people just wanting to read books, I guess, like at home,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh yeah, well, this is like anime adjacent media that people wanted to read, so maybe that also contributed to it.
Well, it's like not only did consumption go up a lot, but production kind of didn't.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of like back reading for a lot of people. And production companies, instead of being able to look at like what's the good new content we can make, instead are what's something that hasn't been done yet that we can just like get done real quick.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I still wish I actually had a store near me, like a physical store to like look at like novels. It's a shame that I have to go into big cities to look at actual physical product. I mean, buying online is one thing, but
I
seeing
love
or
it,
going to like a Barnes and Noble and just hope.
Yeah, my local Barnes and
yeah,
Noble
I
actually
mean,
has
yeah, they have it, but like they have some, but like I mean, even in my local library, I've seen like some selection of manga and stuff like that. But I don't know. Once you go to Kinokuniya, New York, Chicago, you're kind of spoiled. I don't know, but
You
I
realize
agree.
what you
You
could
can still
have.
buy them. It's just having that dedicated space for like all of that stuff it's awesome.
I agree.
Jealous of people who get to go there. So, but yeah.
Speaking of reading, I've caught up to another manga recently. I don't think I talked about it last time. A
don't
Sign
think
of
so either.
Affection.
Sign of affection. Okay.
Yes.
I
Also
know
known
nothing
as
about.
Yubisaki to Renren.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
Yeah, so basically it's like college romance and the main girl is deaf, cannot hear whatsoever. And I liked it a lot. It was really interesting how it would do some things with like with the text. It would be like grayed out if she could hear it, but it would be like normal manga text if she couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cool, like, it's just a small detail that just makes it cool.
So it's grayed out if she could hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know why, but when he said she was deaf, my first thought was how like the Comey gag is that she doesn't talk. Not that she can't talk, but just that she doesn't talk. I don't know if she does talk ever, but that's beside the point. My first thought was the monkeys that are the can't see, can't hear, can't speak monkey, like lore thing, and I was like, that we just need a rom-com with a blind girl.
Oh, well, what's that?
There probably is.
Yeah, there probably is. What's that? What's that game? The visual novel with like the.
Katawa Shoujo.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking of when you were mentioning. Yeah, that.
That was the first. I mean, it was the first visual novel I ever played. Obviously, I think that predates me watching most anime too, though.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was because I remember I was like really big into watching random YouTubers and shit, and Chilled Chaos played through it, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of fun. I kind of want to like read the whole thing." So I did, as it goes, and then later on, I think like the next semester was around when I started like actually watching anime.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've never played it. The only visual novel I tried is um. Oh my god, I cannot think of the name. The freaking the really famous one that was like 4 years ago. Oh my god, I literally can't think of the name. I'm actually like.
I mean, I don't know. The only like more mainstream.
Just Doki Doki Literature.
Yeah,
was
Doki Doki. I don't know why I couldn't think of that one. Yeah, Doki Doki.
Was that 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was 4 or 5 years ago.
That's what I didn't
can't
say.
remember.
I didn't feel like it was that close in time. It was 2017, so if I
Okay,
or 6 years,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
a little off there.
He might have been a little late to the party.
No, yeah, 6 years. 6 years sounds right. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I've only played through a couple. I like stories that are good, but
Sure.
visual novels are just kind of a pain for two reasons.
They're long as fuck if you want to actually get through all the content.
They're really long, and you have to go through a lot of content that you've already done to access more content that you haven't done.
You can't.
And
You
so,
must give like a skip button to like go through shit you've already done.
But the second issue, it is for me in particular, is I like to read stuff on my phone, and so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
most visual novels don't have like a phone port or anything.
Right.
And so, like in the past, it might not have been as big a deal because I think I went through Katawa Shoujo on my laptop and stuff like that. But now, at this point in my life, I just like to read stuff on my phone and not on my computer. And so, not that I'm particularly like looking at any visual novels, like, oh, I want to read that. But if I see a visual novel, I might be like, oh, that looks pretty good. But then I'm like, well, I can't really read it on my phone or play it on my phone. So I think I'll pass. And that's just the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm much different with games than I am with like other media. Like with books, anime, manga, all this stuff. Like yeah, analyze. Let's go. Woohoo! I love boring stuff. But then it's like visual novels. I'm like fuck, dude. I don't want to sit.
Clicking, bro.
It's look. I love reading.
I mean,
I don't love reading for 120 hours to get the full experience.
That's true. That is true. You really can't think of visual novels as games. Also,
yeah, like
even though they like by all technicality are, you have to like mentally be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go read a book that's just has pictures
and voice acted and all this.
One little voice box they have to read for the subtitles.
Yeah.
And sometimes they talk to me.
I just feel like if I'm
Every now
playing
and
a
then you have to
game,
make a choice.
I just want to play a game, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
every
wanna
so often
read,
I have
bro.
to make a choice, and my choice might result in the death of all the characters I've been committing the last 100 hours to.
yeah, like there's a difference between dumping 120 hours into Elden Ring and 120 hours into Clannad. Like I love Clannad, but fucking hell, I failed a route and I've never gone back to the game. I was actually so devastated.
Hmm.
Like it just
Bro,
it's
they always make the fails so like heartbreaking too. Like it's just this peaceful, like chill little, hanging out with your girl story, and then you accidentally choose the wrong route, and they will fucking be like, "I hate you," and kill themselves.
yeah, see, mine ended in like a way that I'm like, this isn't terrible. Like it is like with the undertones of the story, this is actually like awful for both of us. But it didn't feel like a fail, but it was because I didn't get the achievement. So yeah, it was tough. Because I'm like, okay, well, I would have to go back, make the optimal decisions apparently instead of the decisions I wanted to make.
Too much time.
It's just at least I got the other two first try, but
There you
I don't
go.
know. It'd be very difficult for me to complete that entire visual novel.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
considered like. No, I actually did buy the Steins Gate visual novel, but I just never played it. I don't think I've even opened it because like I know a lot of people say that that's like even better than the anime, and I like the anime. And
I've thought about playing
Commitment.
through.
yeah, it's just so much commitment.
I've thought about playing through FSN just because I don't want to watch the Studio Dean adaptation of the Saber route, and so I'm like, I kind of want to know what goes on in the Saber route.
Yeah, you want to
Because
see
one of the
the Saber
few
Rin
Fate things
threesome?
I know very little about. Oh yeah, absolutely. But this is, I guess, a third thing about visual novels too. They're not exactly easy to get a hold of. Some of them are,
Yeah, some on
and
Steam,
like
and some are
Steam,
like they have to be
yeah,
adapted, and it's just like yeah,
Steam is steadily making it easier by getting a lot of them on them. Like nowadays, it probably isn't too hard to get a lot of the most popular visual novels, but like
Mhm.
for a long time, it was really a problem to even get like the Fates or the Katawa Shoujo or
Yeah,
probably Clannad. So I don't know that one from personal experience.
yeah,
Nowadays, Steam probably has most of the ones that are worth your time,
yeah. I
unless you're
guess
like looking for
most of
really
the famous
niche
ones,
stuff.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, but
Though
it's still like they're not exactly easy to
you gotta
find.
hope the English translation is good too. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
they
Yeah,
might have an English version. It doesn't mean it's gonna be a good English version.
that's true.
so
Another thing that like
Tsukihime English version is going to be great. Rage.
another thing that like kind of stops me is like if I watch an anime, I just believe that story is canon. So like
Yeah,
any alternate timeline, it's like I don't know. It just doesn't interest me that much because it's like, well, I watched it. Like,
yeah.
why'd you
Like
show me that?
an anime's only it. It's like Katawa Shoujo is so popular, but it would never get an anime.
Hmm.
It didn't, and obviously it's not anymore because it's not that popular these days. But the main reason for that would be to make an anime, you have to pick a route,
Yeah,
and in the case of Katawa Shoujo, there's not like a canon route really. They're all like pretty equally weighed. But in the case of like
yeah, you wouldn't be able to
Clannad,
adapt that. Yeah,
um, there are multiple routes in Clannad, but there's at least one that's like somewhat more canon to my knowledge.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think I'd be able to. Like, yeah, it's just if I liked an anime, it's likely also that I liked the ending or like I liked how the story turned out. So I don't know. I just don't have an interest in you know, that. So that's just me. I don't know. A lot of people are into the visual novels. Also, like with Steins Gate, the what's the word? Like the people who made it, the people who wrote it, I guess, who made the visual novel, they have like a whole like universe with like other games. I forgot the names of the others, but there's like one called like Chaos Child or something like that. Um, and a few others that are like kind of set in the same universe, I think. And those are supposed to be very good, but like again, I'm just not interested in it. Despite how much I liked Steins Gate the anime, it's just not motivating me to try the visual novels. Maybe I'm missing something like insane. I don't know, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like, what are some other like anime that have started as visual novels or that have been adapted from visual novels that I'm not thinking of?
I don't know. I don't play no visual novels. I have some like really niche ones in my list, but they're
Okay.
not like Alcana is a light or not a light novel, fucking visual novel, and then
That's the one with the pink-haired girl, right?
yeah, then with like the
Yeah, I've
flying
seen
boots.
people of Discord profile picture as her. Yeah.
Yeah, the anime was pretty shit.
Okay,
And then
great.
and then there was fuck, I had it in my head. Now it's gone. Level Action and Chocolate, which was alright, I guess. And it did hold the most crackhead what's it called? Student council of all time, but we talked about that already.
Yep.
But yeah, that's I might have more in here. I just don't care enough to remember
Yeah,
them.
I was just looking at some of these in this list that I posted. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a very popular medium to adapt from.
It's just it's difficult to adapt from it.
Yeah, exactly. You're starting off with multiple storylines, and you have to pick one more or less, right? So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, or find a way to like interweave them.
Yeah,
Because what kind of what Clannad did, where it would like have these other route stories, kind of, but then they wouldn't like commit to certain endings or anything.
right.
They would just kind of like go through that content, but then kind of brush past it, get back onto like main route.
Yep, that makes sense.
But yeah, there is another manga that I started. It's relatively new. The plot is really fucked up, and so
Okay.
I'm just gonna post it in here and let you all read it because I can't read it in here. I don't know if it's going to end up good. It just depends on where it has a very strong material to work with. It just depends on how it handles it.
There's a lot of words in this first sentence.
Yeah,
it's
heavy. It's heavy.
This first sentence has like 3 plot turns that I just have to like think about.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a bit in that first sentence there that was left out as well that made it even worse. You can look at the spoiler tags to get the context behind sentence one.
I'm sure I can figure that out.
Yeah, but it's for people left in the dark here. Saihate Nimado is, I don't know what that translates to. But yeah, I mean, you just look up the if you're not faint of heart, look up the
okay, yeah.
the plot synopsis. Yeah, it's heavy, very heavy. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I can't really call it good yet. I just feel like this is a long haul type of thing. But we'll see. We will see.
Sure. I found it. I found the translation here.
Oh.
Now I'm actually curious now. I kind of want to read it just because it's like so weird.
Yeah, it's all the translations for it would be non-official.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
so it kind of like when they come out is not you know, not consistent. But
okay.
there are at least Scanlation groups that, yeah, like Chapter 5 just dropped. Okay, it's not a group, but it's just a dude who's translating it to English, so shout out to that guy. I haven't read Chapter 5 yet. Apparently it came out 3 days ago on Manga Dex. But yeah, it's... Oh, and Manga Dex had the fucking translated thing. Okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, it's a read that exists. I've been trying to get more manga to read, but I find if I sit down and start reading something, I don't stop reading it, and that's my main problem. I'm scared of getting sucked into something and then wasting all of my time on it.
Or just do it before you go to sleep or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did with a lot of these, like,
Yeah.
or even with light novels. Like, when I was catching up to Tomazaki, it would be like, couple hours before I wanted to go to sleep. All right, I'll just bang out this entire novel right here. Which, yeah, it's just typically how I
Yeah,
do
that's what I
things.
do with the books I have. I'm reading a book about how to tell when people are lying. But nothing anime related. But it's just like a random book about that. But yeah, I usually read that before I sleep, and even if it's interesting, it still kind of puts me to bed, even if it's interesting, just because like I don't know, it's kind of a chore to read. So yeah, I haven't read a manga in a while, but I've just been trying to focus with whatever time I have on Haikyuu and before that Attack on Titan. I got to start the third season of Attack on Titan. I'm actually so excited. I'm so excited. I
Yeah,
freaking put that off just to watch Haikyuu, which I don't regret. But oh my god, I love Attack on Titan. It's insane.
yeah, I did once too.
You did once? Oh, because of the manga, you like.
I have an
Before you.
opinion on the ending, but that's for another episode.
Yeah, no. Everybody I talked to, it's like I was like telling people like, yo, I finished the second season of Attack on Titan. It's crazy. They're like, ooh, you're not gonna like the ending or whatever. Yeah.
You might like the. I mean, you might be in the camp that likes the ending, and you'll be wrong.
Yeah, I guess
You'll be
maybe
very wrong, but it's okay.
I don't know how different it'll be in the anime. It could be different. I don't know.
If
Not
if
like that
Mappa
different.
changes the ending, bless. They might save
Yeah.
Attack on
Yeah,
Titan, but
I've always
I
made
severely
the joke
doubt
they're
it.
gonna change the ending, but it's generally you don't. When something has an ending, generally you just can't change it. Little bit of an unreasonable.
Yeah, I guess we talked about it before. But like Domestic Girlfriend's one example where like they changed the ending in the anime. So that's like This is harder with Attack on Titan because there's more lore and stuff building up to it, so you probably can't change it too much. But I don't know. We'll see. Regardless, I'm excited. I know it's fall. Is there like an actual Is there a date specifically that the season's going to start? The final season, the final chapter. Do you have an actual date for it?
No, just fall.
No. Okay. Just fall. Okay, great. Well,
Could be
okay.
October, could be November, could be December.
Okay, that's okay. Whatever. Fair enough.
Anime moment.
Oh, what was that? What was that manga you said you were reading earlier? I was looking at the
A
page.
Sign of Affection.
Yeah, they have there's an anime adaptation.
Yeah, it's coming out in January. Yeah, January.
Yeah, that's what I read as well. Yeah.
It's been in production for a long time, apparently.
Oh, really? Was it announced like a while back?
No, it's only been like announced recently, but it's been in production for 3 years, I think it was. Because it didn't. What happened was, so 3 years in, it's a monthly manga, so it would have been like 12 chapters in, basically.
Sure.
Yeah, so they knew this shit was gas off rip, but the problem is it had a big hiatus, I think, for a little while, because it's been going for like 4 years and we're 37 chapters in, so there's a bit of time off. But yeah, no, so it's been in production for a while, and I guess kind of like they kind of got halted because the material stopped coming in. But it's gas. I like it a lot.
Fair enough. I was looking at other. I feel like we talked about this before, but have you guys seen any of the Chinese like anime?
No.
Okay. I was just browsing my anime list and
I'll
some of
just
them were
see
showing.
like out of context clips on Twitter of like crazy
Yeah,
animation
of
or whatever,
course,
but I'm
yeah.
like, does it keep that
I've
up
seen
the whole
YouTube
time?
clips.
Or like sometimes people will just like post crazy ass trailers, and I'm like, I'm sure it's not gonna actually look like this in the end.
I gotta admit, some of them look crazy. Like some of the animation is like insane, but
Yeah,
I've just
like
never
people
watched much.
really like Link Click, which I might watch one day.
Yeah, that's the
I've
one I
heard a
have
lot of
in
good
front of
things
me.
about
Yeah.
Link Click.
And second season's airing right now, so maybe one day I'll pick it up. It's just like a decision to venture outside of what I'm comfortable with, because even if I'm sure I'll get used to like Chinese event like quickly, but it'll still be different to the ears. It's like when you're in Spanish class and you're like, all right, let's watch a movie, but they turn it to Spanish and put on the English subtitles. That's the kind of experience I'm expecting. It's just like I'm just not going.
So used to Japanese.
I'm used to English, Japanese, but then I'm gonna be hearing Chinese, which I'm very much not used to.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it'll be like a little jolt of electricity to the brain. The neurons will have to start firing.
Oh
But
my
then
God.
I'll
You're just reading the subtitles. It's not that big of a deal.
hey, but no, the sounds coming into the ears. They're not gonna be. It's not gonna be
Okay,
used
okay,
to it. You
fair
know.
enough, fair enough, fair enough. No, I get that. Yeah, I'd be interested to see like what the major differences are, aside from language, obviously, but like in terms of I don't know, techniques for animation and like how the stories.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of anime
Um,
outsources to China from Japan, so uh,
okay, yeah,
they definitely make some crazy stuff. I'm sure it's not like all like sunshines and rainbows over there all the
Mhm.
time. Just like Japan, there's gonna be good and bad. Though there are like a lot of I think Japanese animators who like will say that China's in a much better spot for animation just because of how dog shit the pay is and stuff in Japan.
yeah,
I don't know. I think
yeah.
at some point, like anime is just such a big thing for Japan. I feel we'll have to like some politician at some point's like, yeah, maybe we should get these people paid.
You
Because
never know.
I mean,
Politicians trying to get people paid. That's not always
They
successful.
yeah, politicians common L, common politician L.
Yeah, I don't think like just from looking from some of the pictures and some of the clips I've seen, I don't think the animation style looks like super different. Like obviously the character design as well, it's not like insanely different, but um, I don't know. I'm just interested to see. Um, yeah, it'd be an interesting watch for sure to see the differences because like there have to be like some major differences in terms of like how the characters are and how I mean maybe not the story necessarily, but
Yeah, maybe the story to some degree they will have
the
like
tropes would be
the
like a
tropes would definitely be different. You wouldn't have
yeah
like, all right, let's
like a
go to the summer festival. Teehee.
yeah or like I mean the concept of a tsundere, right? Like uh in contrast with like if you think about Western media, like that kind of trope doesn't really exist to the same degree, right? Um,
Yeah,
so Chinese might be slightly different, right? Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting for sure. I don't know which one. I mean, I know you mentioned Link Click was like one of the ones that was airing right now, but I don't know if there are like other ones that are like super famous. I mean, I've seen trailers and stuff on YouTube, but that's about it.
I mean, I'm sure there are, but I feel like Link Click is the only one I want to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not a scene that I pay attention to, and so it's not something I can really comment on.
yeah, yeah.
It's so fucking hot in my room. I hate summer.
Oh,
I'm
it
sitting here
was
cooking.
it's really hot. It's really hot.
I think it broke 100 today.
I'm at 97 right now, so close enough.
I'm at 93, but same thing.
And I had to turn the fan next to my desk is off for obvious reasons, and the fan on the farther side of my room was like I couldn't tell if it was actually getting into the mic or not, but like every now and then there'd be a little audio spike. Like fuck it, whatever. I'll turn it down, and so my room is slowly increasing in heat, and it's going to kill me probably. It wouldn't kill me. I've acclimated to the heat. I had my room get to 90 before, and I slept in it. And I was alive at the end, so it'll be fine. Uh, Probably not the healthiest thing ever, but
Well, I
adversity
guess like
breeds character.
yeah, supposedly. I don't know myself. um, uh, I guess like also in addition to like Chinese anime, I guess there's like I feel like we mentioned it like maybe like 50 episodes ago. I don't remember. There's like one South Korean anime or not anime, whatever, like a cartoon that we'd mentioned. I forgot the name though. Um, it was posted in our chat somewhere. I don't even know like how many they produce. Probably very few compared to Japan. And I've never seen those aside from the trailer for that one that we posted. I just wish I remember the name. But like for example, I mean the written like manga type stuff like that's like seems to be like reasonably popular, right?
Yeah, Mon is pretty
Yeah,
popular.
manhwa basically. Yeah, yeah. But I haven't seen like in terms of animation stuff like that. I've never heard of anything. I don't even know what they're called, but yeah. um. So yeah. Um.
Surely they have a name, but I also can't think of what.
Yeah, they're not webtoons. They're not webtoons, right? That's not the
Webtoons is like a very specific thing.
yeah.
Korean animation is often called I don't know how to pronounce this. Hanguk Aini? I probably
It's just
fucked
a
that up.
Korean anime. Yeah.
Or Guksung Aini, which is basically the first one was Korean animation, the other one
Yeah.
was domestic animation. So there's a differential.
The artwork is a little bit interesting for sure.
I scrolled down a little bit. It's top 30 best Korean anime to watch. Number 28
I guess
is
it's like Tower of God, right? Like that's like
no, that was it's a manhwa webtoon and got an anime adaptation.
yeah, I guess yeah. So it wasn't
But
natively produced. Yeah, that makes sense.
The top 3 best Korean anime to watch. Number 28 is Doggy Poo.
What the what?
Yeah.
Doggy poo?
Yeah, just Doggy Poo.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Yo, hello, what is this? Dude, who is this now? Dude, this is my guy. My guy. Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah,
What is this?
once the Doggy Poo watch party.
A sentient pile of feces is amazed by new surroundings. What the heck is this? Yeah, this is based. This is actually so based. Like, this is stupid. I actually love this. I kind of want to watch Doggy Poo now.
I like how they count God of High School, even though it was Mappa that made it. I mean, it's a manhwa adaptation, but like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had Tower of God in this, which is just an adaptation, right? Yeah.
And Noblesse, which is also... that whole, like, era of, like, trying to adapt webtoons was, not a failure, because, I mean, Tower of God's getting to season 2. Solo Leveling's getting made.
I just couldn't get into the Tower of God.
Tower of God
I don't know.
is I think it's a much considerably better read. It's also a big commitment, but
yeah, that's fair. I remember attempting to read it at some point, and I did not like the art style. And so then I stopped. And I was like, maybe one day I'll revisit Tower of God in some shape. I never did.
yeah. The only like knock on Tower of God is like the beginning art is like kind of rough.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that bad.
I was
but
reading the beginning art, and I was like, man, this is not my favorite.
it does get a lot better. The most like, if I had any complaint, it's what I like about Tower of God, but also a complaint about it. It's this weird like paradox of the sheer scale of the story of Tower of God has led to 500 plus chapters, and God, I haven't read in a while, but it didn't seem close to ending. And so it's very impressive, but I watch and read a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna remember most of it. I can only remember so many chapters at once. So this just like 500 chapter, and they're not like super short. It's not like a manga where it's like, I don't know, fucking 14 pages or some shit to get to 500. They're like, it's a commitment. It's a very, I'm like 400 in. There's a lot going on. I haven't read it. It's been years since I've read it because it was on hiatus and I lost motivation to read. But yeah, it's something. It's certainly something.
Yeah, I think yeah, when it came out, when the anime adaptation came out, it was like, I don't want to say super popular, but I feel like a lot of people were watching it at the time, or at least trying to. But yeah, never read the original source material, so I don't know.
Yeah. I guess one last thing that I have. I've said this before, but I'm watching Hibike Euphonium. I'm like slow burning through. I'm almost done with season 1.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting to the point where I can see why people like it more. Because I didn't dislike it before or anything. But this has been gassed up considerably by everyone who's watched it that I know. And so it's getting more into like the interesting drama points instead of being like a more like typical slice of life with a, I guess, interesting like premise behind it with good animation, because KyoAni, obviously. I'm on episode 10 right now. It's definitely getting more interesting. Don't know. I don't know, I'll just keep slow burning it. Maybe I'll give it season 3 by the time that shit comes out, whenever that is. It's like 2024 probably.
I think personally, for me, season 2 is considerably better than season 1, which I liked season 1 a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get the season 2 of it. I mean, it's rated higher, as expected. Most sequels tend to be rated higher just because there's
It's watched by the people who enjoyed the first one.
yeah, or by me, who may not have liked the first one, but still has to watch the second one out of principle.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, have to. I will die if I don't.
Yeah, I almost feel like watching it because number one, I haven't seen a music anime. I don't think off the top of my head, and then number two, I think I mean, I mentioned this when you guys mentioned it last time, but I used to play the euphonium in band in high school, so it's a topical,
kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I was kind of a skilled player,
Yeah,
Um,
probably the most musically gifted person in this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I played the piano a lot as a kid. No, I mean throughout my my time as a kid. I don't know, since until college basically. So yeah. So I played a lot of piano. So yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised I haven't seen a music anime. None of them like really interested me. Because I don't know, just like
I
I don't know. Now that I've watched like sports anime, I'm kind of more open to like those.
I mean, it's similar in the sense that, like how I said, sports anime are kind of formulaic. Music anime is the same. There's a lot of music anime with good plots, but also a lot of the draw to a lot of them is also the music.
Mm-hmm. I guess Bochi, if that counts. I mean, yeah, that kind of counts.
Yeah.
So okay, I've seen that.
Maybe even Bochi. Bochi has great music.
Yeah,
and course, it still has a good story. Hibiki has a great story and it has great music. But then, like the Love Lives, for example, have stories.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the Love Live stories, but when I watch Love Live, it's because I want the Pog music and I like the characters, not necessarily the plot line.
Yeah, I think that might be good. I mean, it is about like a band or like orchestra, right? Like that's like the main setting of it, like a school band.
Hibiki, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's literally like a high school band in the same way that
get to dig up some old memories, I guess.
It's a very similar setting.
Yeah, okay.
To yeah, I'm looking through all the music anime that I've watched.
I can't think of any other than Bochi, actually.
Your Lie in April is probably the most common one.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have seen that one.
I gotta get back to watching that at some point. Been on episode 6 for years.
Bandori is just like girls making like more traditional bands, like guitar, drum type of formats, similar to K-On, not in terms of anything, but just the instrumentation. The Love Lives obviously are idols. D4DJ is DJ music.
Yeah, if you count Oshinoko is not really a music one, but
it involves idols.
It does. Yeah, it's just like
not a lot.
It's not the main focus. So I'm trying to think. Let's see if I have I can filter by genre. I'm just trying to think of a scene one that I'm not thinking of. No, it's literally just Bocchi the Rock. Yeah. It became Euphonium. That might be the well, after Attack on Titan, we'll see. But yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. The high school band. That's some memories from high school for sure.
It's a fun one. I think some of the plot points in Hibiki are very like high school drama, and that's not necessarily a knock on it. But
I mean, it makes sense.
It is a high school.
Yeah, I mean,
band anime in every way that you can imagine.
Yeah, I guess a lot of school animes are like that. Just with the school as the setting, it's like kind of the interaction between characters is always kind of going to be a focus.
I guess Kongbin counts as a music anime. It's listed on when I do genres music, and that it has good songs. I don't think most people watched Kongbin for the music, or even the music aspects.
Yeah, no, not quite.
they literally
Kongbin when it uses the same song for the 20th episode in a row.
Yep.
But yeah, I got nothing else unless someone has.
Me neither.
It's been a great podcast episode for me. We talked about music, anime. We talked
But you're
about
ranting. That
we
you
talked
got that
about
off your shoulders.
sport. I don't get to talk about sports and music, anime that much.
Yeah. Now that I've been introduced, I might have to try some other ones. But again, Attack on Titan. That's my number one focus
Yeah,
because
definitely Attack
bro,
on Titan.
season 3, it's been sitting there. Oh, gosh. So that yeah.
We can go on a music anime adventure after Attack on Titan. We'll
Yeah,
watch.
for sure. Yeah, actually, I do kind of want. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll put down a Hibiki Phonium as my. That might be the next thing after Attack on Titan, just to try it out, see how it is.
I need to get the new Simple Gear, but I've been putting it off for literally everything else. Not for any reason. It's just I'm bad at watching anime, as we've noted a lot of times on the podcast.
I'm the same way.
But yeah, also speaking of things that are bad is the heat in this fucking room. So yeah, the episode's ending here. If you enjoyed, then you should subscribe on the YouTube, follow whatever audio only platform you're on. If you're on audio only and you like to go to the YouTube, is the Order Anime Podcast. Can't possibly miss it. We're the only one. If you're on the YouTube, want to go to the audio only for on the go purposes, you can go to our link down below in the description. Will take you to our page, which will have the subsequent links to whatever platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. EST, without fail, except for when we do. We will have a new episode, so we hope to see you in another one. Thank you, and goodbye.